Alrighty, so we'll get started today, and then if other people come, they can join on in. So I'll post the links again for the extra restorative chair and meditation classes that I'm doing at throughout the next couple of weeks. And then for class today, you can get started in a laying down position or in a comfy seated pose, whatever feels good to you. And you may want to have a strap or a scarf nearby for some stretches throughout class. But for now, perhaps your hands find your knees or lay open by your sides. And you can allow your eyes to close or take a soft gaze. And just notice the breath. Notice if it catches at any point of emotional or physical disturbance. Not judging, just noticing. And then I'd like to invite you to breathe more intentionally. We're going to do a breath deepening practice. We'll start with 3 breaths that go into the chest area. So it's a fairly shallow breath. Tends to be where we breathe when we're like running and we run out of breath. So our first 3 breaths will be in through the nose, out through the nose, trying to breathe into the chest cavity. And then we'll do 3 where we try to extend that breath through the chest and filling up the lungs and ribs. So you kind of feel the middle of the body expand. And then our last 3 sets of breath through the chest, through the ribs, and all the way down into the belly. If you're laying down, this is when you should see your belly rise up and fall down. That's our deepest, most nourishing breath. So I like to, in this exercise, interweave my fingers and then place them over the part of the body I'm trying to get the bottom of my breath to. So I'll cue the first breath of each of the 3 sequences and then allow you to breathe at your own pace. So ready, inhale and exhale. Taking 2 more chest breaths if that feels good to you. I like to know what a chest breath feels like in my body because often when I'm anxious, my breath stops at the chest. And so if I know what that feeling feels like, I can recognize that and step away, step back, take my time. Sliding the hands down to the ribs and the lungs, deep inhale. Full exhale. 2 more. And then sliding all the way down through the belly, trying to feel the chest, ribs, and lower belly expand with the breath and then empty completely. Ready, inhale. And exhale. 2 more, you can sigh it out on these. Taking the hands and bringing them behind the head, ducking the chin to the chest. Let the elbows pull you down towards the floor. And then slowly rolling the head so that left ear is by left shoulder. You can put your left hand on the right side of your head. Perhaps your right palm is on your right knee or stretches out to the side, looking for that deep through the neck and over the shoulder stretch. And then roll the head down, coming over to the right side, right hand on the left side of the head, stretch it out. And release the hands, bring the head up. We're gonna take some arm circles now. You can have the arms out or you can bring your fists in towards your armpits, kind of like you've got chicken wings. And we're gonna circle the arms backwards 5 times. And then forwards. And then bring those arms out towards the side. Feel like you're stretching your fingertips in opposite directions. And then bend at the elbows. We're gonna take our eagle arms here. So stacking your left elbow inside of the right. And then either the backs of the hands come together or you reach the palms together. Let's tilt my camera angle up a little bit so you can see my arms better. Trying to lift elbows up to shoulder height or perhaps up to chin. Feeling free to breathe here, holding constant, or inhale, extend upwards, exhale, crunch in, bring your eagle arms in. 5 breaths. At the bottom of those breaths, unwind to T arms. Flip the palms towards the back of the room. Press back. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it in. Stacking the opposite side. So right elbow inside of left this time. Backs of hands or palms touch. Lift the elbows up. This time, just take a gentle gaze up towards the thumbs or the pointer fingers. My palms don't totally comfortably touch all the time, so sometimes I just, I use my thumb and my pointer finger to grab onto my opposite thumb. Make sure you're not dragging it down, but just a gentle grip to get some of that twist. And release, give your arms a little shake. We're gonna take one more shoulder stretch before we make our way into our intention and our twist. This one's a pretty classic one. Raise your left hand up towards the sky, pat yourself on the back, and then grab your left elbow, give it a little pull. If you'd like, you can add a side body stretch into it, reaching your way over towards the right side of the room. You might feel this a little bit in the side of the rib cage or the obliques. And then sitting up nice and tall, other side. Right hand pats yourself on the back, grab that elbow, and maybe you reach over to the left side of the room. And then coming up nice and tall. We're gonna take a moment to set our intention now, but we're gonna be intentional about the position we set that intention in. So we have two options. Both are positions of slight vulnerability. So if neither of them feel comfortable, please take whatever pose feels best for you. One of them opens up the chest, the other arches the back. So with the opening of the chest, we're opening ourselves up to the world and the universe and whatever you believe is in it. With the rounding of the back, we're grounding ourselves back into Mother Nature, into Earth, and trying to find our deeper roots again. So for both poses, you're going to bring your feet about hips width distance apart, perhaps a little bit wider. And if you'd like to ground down towards Mother Nature, you'll grasp the hands right below the knees, arc the back, and let the head start to fall between the knees. And if you'd like to go deeper, you can bring the hands underneath the legs, wrap around for the ankles, perhaps coming wide and pulling yourself down. And then if you'd like to open up to the sky, your hands go to the sides of your hips. Walk yourself back a few handprints. Open the chest, tilt the chin, look up. Closing or opening the eyes, whatever feels good to you. Take a few breaths to set an intention for your practice, for your week, for your heart. Walking those hands in or up, bringing them to the hips, taking a few side twists, bringing the knees down towards the mat, perhaps extending through the upper hip. My toes are cold, so I'm not taking my socks off yet. Welcome to winter yoga. And then sitting up nice and tall, let's take a few shoulder rolls before we move ourselves into our twists here. Inhale, shoulders to ears. Exhale with a sigh, roll down the back. 4 more. And take 5 shoulder rolls forwards. And then bring the knees hips width distance apart and let them droop over to the left so that the right knee sits about in the sole of the left foot. We'll bring our hands up to our cactus arms, trying to keep the elbows level with the shoulders. Take a deep inhale, sit up nice and tall. Exhale, twist yourself over to the left, and you can lower down to whatever angle feels good for you, whether that means a slight twist and up on fingertips, or fully twisted backwards and down on the forearms. Wherever you're at, keep breathing. Pressing back up onto the palms if you came down and walking yourself to center. Extending the hands out in front of you or up onto the knees. Begin to take a slight twist towards the other side. Noticing the difference in the spinal twist when we move in the same direction as our lower half versus in the opposite. And then come back through center. Bring the knees up to the sky and twist them on over to the right. Cactus arms come up, big inhale. Exhale, twist over, lower down. Raising back up onto the hands, walking yourself forwards and taking a little counter twist to the other side. And then swing yourself back around forwards. We're going to make our way onto our tabletop position. So our knees are stacked underneath our hips. Our shoulders are over our elbows, are over our wrists. Inhale, lower the belly, open the chest, look out. Exhale, arc the back, tuck the chin. Perhaps the tops of the feet are on the floor, or maybe you tuck them. 4 more. Coming back to stillness. Take a moment to widen the hands a little bit. So just stretching them out, stretching from the thumb to the pinky finger, widening the palm. And then inhale, left arm up towards the sky. Press it back, look up. Exhale, thread that arm underneath the right armpit, landing on the right shoulder, the left shoulder, sorry. And you can let your right hand explore, perhaps out in front of you, maybe wrapping along the back. And then place the right hand back underneath the right shoulder. Inhale, unwind to the sky. Exhale, come to table. And then before we move to the other side, step that left leg out. I like to keep my toes parallel or perpendicular, to the front of the mat or in line with my other calf. But you're also, it's totally okay to turn it out 45 degrees or fully point it, whatever angle feels best in your knee, really. And then just be sure not to let the knee lock. Keep a soft bend there. We're gonna take our hip stretch. So you can either exhale and sit back, inhale, press forwards, or you can sit back and hold here. If you're holding, perhaps exploring what angle of the leg feels best for you. And we'll take 4 more breaths. And then coming back to our table, walking those hands back in. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. placing the left hand back under left shoulder. Inhale, arm up, look up. Exhale, settle back to the table, step the right leg out. 5 breaths of pulses or holds. And then when you're finished, bring that knee back in, tuck the toes, lift the hips, making our way to our downward facing dog. Taking a moment to check in. Are each of your fingertips pressing into contact with the mat? Making sure that if we would like to adjust our down dogs, we're not pressing forward through the shoulders, but instead bending at the knees, as though you're trying to kiss the torso towards the thighs. Feeling free to bend one leg and then the other, or take any stretches your body's calling for. Beginning to walk the feet in towards the hands. Perhaps grabbing opposite elbows or taking a soft bend in the knees. Let the head droop down. And take a moment to notice if you are clenching the jaw. If so, try and release. Slowly crawling the fingertips up the body. Rolling the shoulders down and back, palms facing forward, chin lifts. Shifting the weight between the feet, rocking side to side and forwards and backwards. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, stretch yourself over to the left, perhaps grabbing right wrist with left hand. And then arcing up and over to the right side. Raising up, bringing yourself to your wide-legged stance. Adjusting your pants if they're falling down. Turning your toes out 45 degrees, coming into a comfortable squat for you. Making sure that the knees aren't coming inwards. If they are, bringing your squat up a little bit or the feet a little closer together. We'll bring the arms back to cactus for our goddess pose. We're gonna take 6 rounds of goddess breaths. I'll cue the inhales, and on the exhales, we'll all release with a powerful sigh/scream/huh. The first 3, I'd like you to picture yourself releasing something, whatever it is that you don't want to hold on to anymore. The second 3, I'd like you to picture creating space for newness and growth and action and whatever cause that means for you, whether it is your own personal journey or some realm of social justice or whatever you're feeling. So first 3, clear it all out. second 3, making space and a healthy space for growth. So ready, inhale, stand up tall, reach up, exhale, ha! Inhale, ha! Inhale, ha! Inhale, ha! Inhale, ha! Inhale, last time, ha! And then reaching right hand over to the left side, left hand comes towards right hip. You can always straighten the legs if you don't want to be down in the squat. We're gonna make our way from side to side, but coming forward. So you're gonna swoop around in this half circle, reach the left hand out as you go, and then reach left hand over to the right, right hand towards your hip. See if you can take 4 or 5 side to side. And then coming back through center, reaching both of those hands out in front of you, straighten the legs, let the torso dip down, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. I like to come a little wider here, feel free to join me. Shifting the hips side to side. Little micro bends or creases. Then you can walk those hands forward if you'd like, extending through the shoulders, wide-legged down dog. Walk the hands back underneath the shoulders, finding stability with the weight in your feet, so that the hands can come back behind you, clasping one another. Lift up for a little shoulder stretch. Slowly lowering the hands back down towards the hips before releasing them out towards the sides. Let them come back down to the ground. Heel toe those feet back underneath the hips. Keeping a slight bend in them. Inhale, come up, knees bent into the chair. You can stand and lower down or hold. If you'd like, you can take hands to heart center. Twist over to the left for a couple breaths and then over to the right. This can also be done with straight legs. It's just a twist of the torso. And switch sides. Coming back through to center, stand up nice and tall. And let yourself fold down vertebra by vertebra. Chin coming towards the chest. Beginning a little bit of flow here. Take a deep inhale, lift halfway, look out. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift one more time. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Remember, you can always bring those knees down. Take a deep inhale here. Exhale, lower the knees, the chest, and the chin. And then inhale, pulling through to the cobra, staying here, keep breathing. Tops of the feet as wide as the mat. Hands underneath the shoulders, elbows tucked in towards the ribs. Look down and out in front of you. Take a deep inhale, raise up. Exhale, lower down. 4 more cobra breaths. Only extending so far as you feel a nice deep stretch. Never going so far as you feel a crunch. That was a combination of crunch and print, I have no idea, in your lower back. Next time the chest lowers down, pressing through the hands, making your way through the table, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. You can hold here for 6 breaths or come down to child's pose. If you'd like, you can lift one leg, bend the knee, and open the hip for 3 breaths on each side. If you're bending the knee, straighten that leg, square the hips, lower the leg down, raise the opposite, bend and open. Straightening that leg up, square the hips, lower down, raise up onto the toes, and then lower the knees as wide as the mat. Big toes touch, sit hips back to heels for child's pose. Take a deep inhale, come up onto the fingertips, raise the chest, walk the hands a handprint further out. Exhale, lower down. Noticing if this does anything for the shoulders, if it takes your hips further away from your heels. Bringing the palms back down to the mat, allowing them to come in a little closer to the body, sliding along the sticky mat. Taking a few moments to breathe here. Rolling the head side to side from temple to temple. Whether it be the stress of a pandemic, the holidays, school, work, the end of the year, child's pose is one of my favorites in the morning and at night to ground and relax me. Walk your hands over to the right. And then over to the left. Walking the hands back to center. And then dragging the hands in, peeling the chest up, sitting up into hero pose. If you'd like to stretch out the soles of the feet, tuck the toes, sit back on the heels. Quick note as we enter even crazier season than before. So we store a lot of our tension and our feelings in our hips. They're kind of like the junk drawer of the body. So you just kind of throw everything there when you don't have time to deal with it. So hip releases can be very nice, but can also bring up a lot of emotion. So always feel free to come out of them if you need to. Give yourself a big hug, take child's pose, take shavasana. But also, if you're looking for a deeper release and you happen to live with someone or have someone in your pod, a really nice adjustment is to come into your child's pose and then have them place their hands on your back. So right above your tailbone, meeting your lower back, and you take an inhale, and then on an exhale, they just gently press down, and it kind of rotates the pelvis, pulling you a little bit further towards your heels, allowing you to really ground into your child's pose. And so from our seated position, we're gonna peel our hips off of our heels. And then you may want a blanket nearby to support your knee or to fold the back of your mat in if you'd like a little extra cushioning. But we're gonna step our right foot forward, coming into our low lunge. You can have either the top of the foot on the mat or tuck the toes. Because we're down nice and low, your knee can come over your ankle. If you'd prefer to bring it up into a high lunge, just make sure that your knee doesn't come further forward than the ankle. This will also help protect the back knee. So we'll take our classic stretches. Our inhale, come forward to the lunge, grow tall through the spine, arc up and back for our crescent. And then on the exhale, folding over that front leg for a stretch. So if you're down low, inhale, rise up, look back. Exhale, shift the hips, fold forward. You can even come onto that heel if you'd like. And up nice and tall. We'll all take 5 more breaths. I find when I'm up in a high lunge, it helps to widen the space between my feet a little bit. So pretend you're standing on opposite sides of a train track. Maybe not quite that way. And then when you're finished, bringing that right leg back to meet the left, stepping the left leg forwards. 5 rounds of inhale, arc and reach. Exhale, fold. And at the bottom of your last breath, bring your left knee back towards your right. Make your way into a comfy seat or a low squat. So whichever one you're feeling today, if Malasana is in your practice and you want to bring your legs nice and wide and bring your hips down towards the ground, feel free. We're going to do an arm flow and it works great in Malasana. But also if you like having yourself nice and grounded, feeling your booty on the floor, this is a great place to be. You can even take seated Baddha Konasana, which is butterfly. So the soles of your feet kiss and your knees open out wide. So we'll take an arm flow here, starting with your hands down by your sides or on your hips. Take 1 breath just to slow and ground yourself. And then inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, pull the elbows down and back, dip the chin to the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring left hand down over to the right. Reach right arm over to the left. Inhale, back up. Exhale, right hand down towards the left. Left arm over towards the right. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, pull elbows down and back. Inhale, reach. Exhale, move to the side. Inhale, stretch up, look up. Exhale, reach to the side. One more round. Inhale, look up. Exhale, down, back. Inhale, reach. Exhale to the side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, other side. Last inhale, come up, and slowly as you exhale, making your way back to your seat. You may want to grab a strap or a scarf if you have one nearby. I mistakenly did not grab mine. Taking a moment to shift yourself side to side, pulling the fleshy part of your bum out from underneath you. Flex and point the toes. Taking a couple of ankle circles. And then let the feet settle into a flexed position. Roll the shoulders down and back. Release the jaw. Lower the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Inhale, sweep the arms up, look up. Exhale, press them down by your hips. Reach forward as though you're trying to touch your nose to your toes. You might not come down as far as you normally do. And then slowly start to walk your hands forwards. And then you can release into the fold, whatever that means for you. If you've got a strap, you can wrap it around the soles of the feet. Inhale, walk yourself up. Exhale to settle. Keep breathing at your own pace. We'll take a half split stretch here, 2 variations. Option 1, right foot comes to the inside of the left thigh. Option 2, right heel goes behind right hip. So this is a half split option with the hero leg, or we have the half split option with the leg forwards. Either way, make sure your left hip is in line with your left ankle. You can wrap a strap around the foot if you'd like. When you're ready, lower yourself down. And perhaps play with the difference between having toes pointed or flexed. Walk yourself up. Swing that right leg in front of you. Left foot comes in or wraps around the back. Taking a moment to notice that maybe that opposite hip feels a little bit tighter now. Give yourself a moment to settle, be gentle. Walk yourself down. Walking yourself back up. Left leg swings forward. Bringing the soles of the feet together, rocking yourself from side to side. We'll come into our butterfly pose now, remembering that the closer you bring your heels towards your hips, the harder it is to get down super low. The further away you push them, the more openness you give yourself. So it's just about where your body is feeling. You can grasp the ankles or the toes and use the elbows to press into the thighs or the calves. Or you can scoop the hands underneath the ankles and pull yourself down. Inhale, come up tall. Exhale, fold and hold. Not your breath, just the pose. Keep breathing. Sitting yourself up tall, coming into a twist. As always, option to keep the opposite leg out straight or bend it in. We'll start with left ankle above right knee. And so you can either tuck that right heel back in, or you can send that leg out long. Inhale, arms rise up, look up. Exhale, twist on over to the left. Trying to put your left hand behind the left hip. And then right elbow can come to right knee, or palm can go down, or you can just hug that knee and thigh in. With each inhale, we grow taller. Exhale, twist a little deeper. Slowly releasing from the twist, coming forwards. Twist to the other side for just a moment. You can grab the bottom of your foot as you swing sideways. And coming forwards, releasing both legs out in front of you. Give them a little wiggle. And then cross right ankle above left knee. Feeling free to tuck that heel in. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist. Slowly coming around forwards and twisting to the other side. And then coming back through to center, send both legs out long. Give them a little shake. We're gonna prepare to make our way down to our mats now. You can either lower yourself slowly, carefully, and at your own ease, or engage the core. Send the arms out long and lower down. Slow, slow, slow. Once you make your way there, and adjust the camera angle. Bring your arms out to a T, bending both knees. And allow them to droop over towards the right. If you'd like to deepen the twist, you can take the right foot and place it on top of the left leg. And look out to the left. Slowly releasing and bringing the knees back up towards the sky. And then dipping them over towards the left. If you'd like, you can take the left foot and place it on top of the right leg. Look out to the right. Bringing the knees back up and unwinding, taking a moment to bring some fluidity to that, switching the knees from side to side. And then bringing the knees in towards the chest, grabbing toes and rocking yourself from side to side in your happy baby. Taking any last movements your body is calling for before lowering into your Shavasana. As you put on your cozy layers and lower yourself down, bringing your intention back into your heart and on your mind. Noticing how it feels to let your intention wash throughout your body, ingraining it into every bit of your being. Allowing the breath to wash over you like a wave. Inhales, bringing in new energy. Exhales, releasing that which no longer serves you. Feeling your body and mind relax as the breath fills you and allows you to release. Just breathe. Beginning to bring the mind back to the breath, bringing small movements into the fingers and the toes. Perhaps rolling to your right side as you awaken yourself back into a conscious state of being. Pressing yourself up into a comfortable seat whenever you're ready. Eyes can remain closed or take a soft gaze at the floor in front of you. Palms open or pressed together at heart center. Filling yourself with gratitude for your practice today. Thank you for sharing your practice with me. By the mercy of my teachers, the light within me honors the light within all of you. May you have a beautiful evening, and thank you. Thank you all so much for being here. It has been an absolute